Gee. What's up guys, this is John coming at you from Ka Uila Motors. Thank you very much. The response to these bikes have been amazing here in the islands, and I can't thank you enough. Partially to you guys out there, the fans watching our channel. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. But let's not waste any more time. We finally got the Escape R from Electric Motion 2021, and let's get into it. All right, well, let's start from the top down since we're here. First of all, Electric Motion still with their R model and race model do give you S3 bars right off the bat when you order the bike. That's an exclusive for that. A little bit higher bend than the other ones, and these bars work great. They also hooking you up with Hebo grips now, stock. Yeah, same electronic throttle, same your brake. You have now on the Escape, with the Escape R, you have your clutch perch, which is standard of any other trials bikes. And one thing that they did change, I thought was a major thing, and personally I like it, but they went from the M4, when you bought the race model, they went from the M4 air fork, they've gone to the Tech aluminum forks. Now these forks come on Gas, TRS, Montesa, and these are just the standard aluminum forks for mostly all of the production trials bikes out there right now. You have a coated shaft, so it's not just a standard chrome. Less stickage and a smoother transition to the seals. You have the aluminum bodies here, which are a lot lighter than the steel ones. Let me tell you, they're a lot lighter than the standard Escape forks, and we'll get into a weight comparison later. Like always, you have your Michelin X11 trials tires that come standard, and this tire comes standard on all the Electric Motion models. You do have a competition caliper for the front, and this thing does this thing is noticeably more aggressive than the other ones, so just keep that in mind. That is a great addition. You know, of course, moving back, you still have the Escape battery size, which we covered in the 2020 model, is an extended range, so the battery actually stops here. Yeah, going back down here, of course, this is the crown jewel of the bike, the clutch system. It's a gear to gear, so it's a little bit more noisy than the belt drive, but like I've said in some of the other videos of our breakdown, you can check up the link above for the breakdown of the 2020 model. Makes a big difference as far as reliability. And basically what you can put this bike through, this will handle. You have a 428 chain, that hasn't changed a bit. You also have steel S3 foot pegs. We're gonna get into that later, and we're gonna go through and change out some stuff, but it does come with S3 pegs, which is which is good quality right off the bat. And like I did in the other video on my Escape, they have already taken that into account and given you the 58 tooth solid aluminum sprocket for the Escape R. That changes the gearing ratio. You got a lot more torque. You do lose some top end, but you know, we're all about climbing stuff and getting over stuff, so speed, you know, speed is not a major concern. This bike is fast enough. It does go upwards of 45 miles an hour, so it goes pretty quick. And this is one thing that they took from the EPR race as well. This is a solid tubeless, not tubeless, but tubeless tire and wheel. You do have a standard shock in there. This is the same shock, I believe, from the Escape and all the other EPR models. This one has a standard spring. We're gonna mess with the since this is my demo bike, we're gonna mess with the compression of the spring just a little bit. I think we can get it just a little bit more firm for my weight. some of the riders that are a little bit bigger, taller, they prefer a little bit stiffer spring, and that we can get for you. The Electric Motion 2021 has amazing graphics, and apart from the way that it looks, they've also upgraded like the feel of the bike, and I'm very impressed with Electric Motion's commitment to design and innovation and improvement, even though they only had the bike out for 1 year. 2020 came out and it was an amazing bike. Certain things had to be changed, and I think the Electric Motion actually listened to the consumer and the dealers, and they made that change right away. So for that, Electric Motion, thank you very much. I mean, I'm impressed. So the main thing that I like about this bike, and besides the clutch, of course, because I knew that was coming, you know, I knew that would be there regardless, but I'm impressed with the way they redesigned the seat. Now, all you trials guys out there, hardcore guys, like, we don't need a seat, this is a trials bike, you know, why you gotta sit down for blah blah blah. Hey, cool it, man. Thank you. You know, you're right, it is a trial style bike, but sometimes, you know, hey, we're cruising, we want to sit down, we want the extra battery, you know, that's the main reason why. And Electric Motion has made that a lot better design now in the 2021 model. So all we have to do now, if you've seen before 2020, there was one screw up here that held the thing down, there were two screws back here that clipped it to the subframe and the fender, and now it's seamless. And how is it held on? It's held on by this one bolt down here. So we can remove that. I loosened this already, so don't freak out. So we can remove this bolt, and with one bolt we can take this and slide it. That's a little tight fit. Slide it off. Now you still have the same rear fender design. It's still clipped in with the 3 bolts here, and you have a little cool, you have a little pocket. You can put tools in there, you can put your spam musubi right inside there, you can put something in here because it is actually covered up by these sides here. So these sides totally cover that area, which is pretty awesome. Maybe tools or something, anything you want. Also, the way the design is, they've made this T slot here, kind of like a similar to a regular you know, enduro bike or what have you, and that fits on this nub. And this is not changed. This is the same nub, same fastener should I say, that the 2020 model had, but now instead of screwing into it, you slide the seat onto it, which is amazing. Because there was one incident where I personally didn't fasten the seat down well on my 2020 model, and that led to flex, and ultimately it led to a little bit of damage of the subframe here. So having this as a security feature for the entire bike and tying it together, that is very good. I mean, I like it. The second most important thing I like, well, yeah, second most important thing I like is this top cover for the battery was made out of fiberglass for the 2020 model, and now it is made out of the same plastic as the rest of the bike. And this is awesome because the fiberglass one, although very solid and it's a little bit heavier, but it wouldn't flex too much as crack. There was some cracks that happened on the tabs here, and just a few things, chips from the fiberglass because it's so rigid. I'm only guessing that fiberglass is more expensive to produce, so if I had to replace it, it would be more expensive. Now it's a plastic piece, and I can just you know, bang this up or ride it how I want, and I can change this when I need to, and that is also amazing. Coming over to this side, they've upgraded their plug, and their old plug, as you may have noticed, was just a flap cover. It would come off when you're washing the bike sometimes, or even when you're riding. But now the plug is actually made to fit into the socket, and that is great for sealing up the battery when we're washing and when we're just out there riding in the wet weather. This is perfect. And the third thing that I like about the seat, and I can't thank them enough, is also this being plastic. The previous 2020 model was also fiberglass with a piece of foam just how do you say it, just glued on and sculpted to look good. And that's the thing about Electromotion, they make everything look good. Yeah, and now with the 2021 model, it looks good and it feels good and it works good. So this being plastic, you have a regular standard seat cover, and the seat cover is grippy and the foam is nice and soft. So I can use the seat for sitting, not just to take up space on my 2020 model like it was. I mean, I added foam to that, I put a pad on it, I put a cover on it, and it honestly doesn't look that great, but it felt better. And now we have a seat that looks great and feels great. For those of you that may want to change, you know, customize your seat cover, you know, it's a standard cover, so you can get something else out there. You can take these staples out and recover it at a later time when you you know, when you tear it up, when you bust it up, when you get it dirty. You can also change the foam. They're going to sell that foam as a separate piece. And what some people have been doing, and I'm not a proponent against it, but some people have been just adding some foam here. So the cover comes off, add a piece of foam, they customize it to their liking, and then they can rewrap it, which we do offer at Hawaii Rides as well. So when you pick up your 2021 Escape, just contact the guys in the front and ask them if they can do a seat cover or a seat, I guess a rebuild add-on, sorry, or seat build-up for you, and we can do that now. 2020 model, unfortunately we couldn't. Also, from the top down, coming here, black frame. Oh my god, thank you so much. Black frame, black swing arm. Not only does it look sexy, it's gonna look sexy later when we clean this thing, or when we get it dirty and we wash it off. Like, oh man, it's gonna look so good. The white was nice, but this is sexy, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, it won't stain. The swing arm is painted as well, so it's not open aluminum. That won't stain. The white used to get all stained with our Hawaii red dirt, like, you know, this stuff right here, all that right there, guys. If you haven't been to Hawaii, if you haven't rode in Hawaii, that is like clay, and when that gets wet, it turns into what some people call brown ice. So I call it brown ice. I mean, it's smooth and it's slick and it stains everything like a motherfucker. So that is one of the best things that they've done, changing it to black. Also, nice upgrades they've done. So with the Escape R, you have a milled billet triple clamp, so it's a little bit lighter up front. So not only do you have lightweight in the forks because they're aluminum, you have a little bit less weight up in the triple clamps because they're machined out of a billet, and so you have a little bit lighter front end to be nimble and tighter turning radius. Also, something they didn't have on the 2020 model is just simply these little plastic pads here. These are just stick-on, but they protect the frame when coming into contact with the bar. These pads here also serve as protection, but 2020 didn't have this, and this is just a nice little feature that necessarily they didn't have to do, but they did it. Mahalo guys, once again. Please, if you like what you see, hit that like button. Make sure that you add a comment if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to get those answered for you. And most importantly guys, most importantly, hit that subscribe button. If you like what you see, we're gonna have a lot more videos of this amazing bike out here in the trails of Hawaii, and also the mods that we're gonna do. Now, are we gonna go with the full beast mode enduro mods that we did on the 2020 model? I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But till next time guys, please ride safe out there in this wet weather season, and always remember, ride aloha.